here's the problem. There is no mechanism in America, and this is an explanation, I guess, for our non-American friends. There is no mechanism in America to stop stupidity from taking over and basically sucking up all the oxygen.
You could stop having people on television to say secret society over and over again.
But television news, but also entertainment, is driven by ratings and ad revenues. And so it's not just a pure ratings play. It's sometimes who you're talking to. And since so many Americans are so dumb that you want to be talking to the dumb people because they're the ones who are going to buy the stuff. And so here's Chris Cuomo speaking to Matt Gaetz, who is also another Republican congressman. He's from Florida, I believe, and this is a guy who's also just, the cravenness in the Republican Party is really impressive. There are so many Republican lawmakers who must not own mirrors or are just so myopic that they can't see their own reflection and have to look at it every morning when they wake up, that they're able to go on television and tell these type of lies. Here it is.
You say that this is the biggest coincidence since the Immaculate Conception. What are you talking about?
Well, look, the notion, and again, this will really be illuminated by the memo, but the notion that this 5 months, not any 5 months, but that this particular 5 months is where the black hole is, I mean, that is one hell of a coincidence, because it's precisely the time that someone would be hatching a conspiracy, meeting with their secret society, building out their insurance policy.
Now you have the meeting with the secret society. You don't even know that one exists. But what do you mean by the Immaculate Conception?
That was Lisa Page's text.
Pause it. Of course we don't know the secret society exists. It's secret, but for the reference to the secret society. God, Chris, go.
She said that we need to be able to get together and have our secret society meeting.
What do you mean by the Immaculate Conception?
That was the substance of... Look, I was making a point that this is an absurd coincidence.
By what? Like, well, what do you think happened with the Immaculate Conception?
The Immaculate Conception, it's obviously a religious doctrine that deals with the Christian faith.
I know, but I'm saying, like, where is the analogy? That's what I don't understand. What do you think happened with the Immaculate Conception?
Look,
pause it for a second. See, this is brilliant. So Chris Cuomo, instead of taking Congressman Matt Gaetz on his own terms, is going to be like, oh, I see what you're doing. You're being completely ignorant and doing propaganda. Well, I'm going to take it and take you into a completely different realm of total stupidity, where I'm going to actually take what you're saying literally and make you justify the analogy, never mind the basis of the, like, we're so far afield from what is relevant here. It's genius.
What do you think happened with the Immaculate Conception?
Look, did you really bring me on to discuss my religious views, Chris?
No, I'm saying you made the analogy, and
Jesus was born.
I don't understand. The Immaculate Conception is not how Jesus was born.
It was the conception. That's the nature of the Immaculate.
It was Mary's conception. Oh my God. It was the mother's conception without original sin. It was not the conception of Jesus. Facts matter, Congressman. If you're going to make an analogy, at least know what you're talking about, because you got to have a basis for these things. You only know what you show. You got to release that memo. It's got to have the facts, and you better figure out what this secret society is before you say that there's a shadow organization within the FBI.
We intend to, absolutely. We intend to find out what it is, and we're going to get the answers. That's why the American people have been learning more and more about the intractable bias in this investigation.
Wait a second. Why didn't Chris Cuomo end this with, why do you hate Jesus? That was incidentally, folks, breaking news. The Immaculate Conception, obviously, a fact. A fact. There you go. That was actually, I think, brilliant. I don't know if he had this in mind, but I wonder if Cuomo sat down with his producer and said, okay, when he starts going this way, what you're going to do is you're going to trip him up on the Immaculate Conception.
It is smart because they don't mind if you're talking about whether the memo exists or not, because at least you're still talking about the memo.
Right.
Yeah. I mean, maybe the texts are missing because they got a little NSFW. Ever think of that?
We need that. I need that on my. I'm gonna need that on my board. I think. I just feel like there's nothing that we can say at this point where that sound effect does not come into my head now. Hi, folks. Sam Seder here. We still need your help on our Patreon page. YouTube ads have come back, but not nearly as much as we had before. So if you can help us out, any little bit helps. Head over to our Patreon page right at this URL, and you'll help us keep helping you by making videos